Hello and welcome to bmclounge.com. In this video, you will learn the 11th principle of project management, which is all about adaptability and resiliency. By the way, if you are into reading articles, check out the first link in the description below, which will take you to an article on this topic over at our official website, bmclounge.com. Some people like to read, some people like to watch videos. So if you like to read, check out that first link. But if you like to watch videos, stay tuned. And I would also like to remind you, since you like to watch videos, there are a total of 12 project management principles that you should be aware of if you are preparing for the PMP exam, right? And all 12 are available in the second link in the description below, which will be an entire playlist of all 12 principles. So definitely check that out. And with that being clear, that being said, let's talk about what this principle actually says. And there are a few things to note in this principle, right? So it first off starts with build. So you have to build something. These are the two things that you are building: adaptability and resiliency. So this is something that you as a project manager need to build, not just in the organization but also in the project teams approaches. And this is going to do three things, right? It is going to help the project accommodate change, recover from setbacks, and advance the work of the project. So what does this say? Build adaptability and resiliency into the organizations and project teams approaches to help the project accommodate change, recover from setbacks, and advance the work of the project. Now, of course, this principle also, just like other principles in project management, this is not rocket science. This is something that you should be aware of as a project manager, as someone who is in a leadership position in an organization. So, let's take an example to understand this principle in a simpler fashion. So, let's say you are creating a website, right? So, instead of going out on a team outing this time around, you are responsible for creating a website, right? So, you are working on this and you plan to have some bright colors, you plan to have interactive menus on the top, you plan to have some cool animations in the center, stuff like that, right? This is what you are trying to achieve, and you want to impress the client, right? You are building this website for a client, of course. So this is what you want. This is how you envision your homepage to be. Now, as you start building this website, as you start the work, you discover that the animations that you have here, they actually make the website run slow on some computers. Not all, but on some browsers, some operating systems, some computers, your website is running slow. In fact, even the interactive menu that you have here on the top, right? This menu does not work properly on mobile devices. So obviously this is frustrating, right? But instead of getting frustrated, if you remember the 11th principle, which is about adaptability, which is about resiliency, what you're going to do is you are going to overcome this technical issue by coming up with more user friendly and efficient website, right? You are going to simplify the animations, you are going to rewrite the code of the menu so that it's not as flashy and it loads properly on all devices. So this example, it illustrates adaptability. You changed your plan. Your initial plan was to make this homepage as flashy as possible, but you changed your plan. That's adaptability right there. And it also illustrates resiliency, which is essentially the ability to recover quickly from setbacks. So you faced setback here, right? But you were able to recover quickly, and you are now ultimately able to deliver a better product overall. So that is an example of principle 11. All right, smash that like button if you were able to understand this example. And now let's get into the weeds. Let's get into more details about this principle. Now, in any project, the conditions can shift unexpectedly, right? New requirements, emerging challenges, or even shifting stakeholder expectations, all of them can require rapid adjustments. Adaptability is the ability or the capacity to respond to such changing conditions. You have the capacity, and your project team, of course, have the capacity to modify plans and processes effectively to stay aligned with the evolving needs. So, this point helps define adaptability much more deeply. Now, let's talk about resiliency. Now, obviously, no project is immune to setbacks. Resiliency is going to ensure that when challenges occur, the project team can absorb the impact. The project team can learn from the experience, and the project team can bounce back quickly. And this is the quality that helps maintain progress despite disruptions, despite setbacks. So, resiliency is the ability to absorb impacts, but not just absorb impact, but also to recover quickly from any setbacks. Focusing on outcomes rather than outputs facilitates adaptability. This is a very important point. Focusing on outcomes rather than outputs. This is what facilitates adaptability. By keeping a clear focus on the desired outcomes, project teams are better equipped to adapt their methods and solutions. This outcome oriented mindset is going to allow for flexibility in the way deliverables are produced, and this is going to ensure that changes in circumstances do not derail the ultimate goals of your project. A quick reminder here, 7 week is all it takes to prepare for the PMP exam. Check out our 50-day PMP study plan link below. It is totally free. Thousands of our community members have made use of this resource and they have passed their PMP exam. You can do it too. Check out the link in the description. All right, let's talk about the need for adaptability and resiliency. Most projects encounter challenges or obstacles that require adjustments. This is more like a fact of life. If you have ever managed a project, if you have ever worked on a project, it is very, very likely that you would have encountered challenges, you would have encountered obstacles, and they required you to adjust your plans. Because end of the day, no project unfolds exactly as initially planned. Challenges are inevitable, and successful teams recognize that these obstacles are opportunities to adapt and improve their approach. Projects are influenced by internal and external factors, which could be new requirements, stakeholder influences, and unexpected events. So remember, these are both internal as well as external factors. And this happens because projects live in dynamic environments, right? So, which means both inside and outside the organization, there could be changes that may impact the progress of your project. As a project manager, being aware of these influences, which could be internal or external, this is essential so that you can adjust your strategies promptly. And as a project manager, obviously, this is something that you should ensure your project team is also aware of. Let's move on. Let's talk about how rigid adherence to initial plans may limit value generation and ultimately hinder project success. So, if you have created a plan and you hold on to those plans, which might have been created in the very early stage of the project, right? And if the circumstances change and if you still hold on to those plans, this is going to restrict the ability to generate value as part of your project. And if you think about it, this is the core difference between traditional way of project delivery and the adaptive way of project delivery. Here, in the traditional way of delivery, you just plan the work and then you work the plan, right? But in the adaptive environment, in the agile way of delivery, you make smaller plans, you deliver smaller increments, and then you change course as and when required. So this is important. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the required capabilities when it comes to resiliency and adaptability. The first one is short feedback loops, which means short feedback loops to adapt quickly. This is where agile comes into the picture, right? Rapid feedbacks, they basically help teams identify what's working and what's not working. And this allows for swift adjustments before issues become critical. Let's talk about the second point here, which is continuous learning. Now, continuous learning and improvement is also a critical capability here. A culture of ongoing learning ensures that the team consistently refines its approaches. They apply lessons from previous experiences to overcome any future challenges. Let's talk about the third point, which is all about diverse teams. Diverse project teams with broad skill sets and subject matter expertise is what this point is all about. Diversity in skills and even perspectives can enrich problem solving. And this enables the team to approach challenges from multiple angles and develop innovative solutions. Next, let's talk about a regular inspection and adaptation of the project work. Periodic reviews and adjustments help keep the project on track, ensuring that processes remain effective and aligned with evolving objectives. Let's talk about open planning, which is more like open and transparent planning to keep your stakeholders engaged, right? So, involving stakeholders in planning fosters trust, and it also ensures that the project's direction reflects the needs and expectations of those that the project serves, those that it serves. Small scale prototypes and experiments to test new ideas. Piloting new approaches on smaller scale, it minimizes risk and it also provides valuable insights into what may work on larger scale. So this is also important. Let's talk about the next capability, which is ability to anticipate multiple scenarios and defer decision making until the last responsible moment. By the way, there's a video on the channel that talks about what this concept of last responsible moment really is. I'll share a link to that video in the description below. You can definitely check that out. But what this point talks about is by preparing for various potential outcomes and delaying non critical decisions, teams can remain flexible and responsive to new information. So they can adapt based on the scenario, which is what this point is all about. Finally, let's talk about strong management support and even open organizational conversations. Leadership that encourages open dialogue and provides robust support is essential for fostering an environment where adaptability and resiliency can thrive. So, these are some of the required capabilities that you, as a project manager, need to inculcate to ensure there is adaptability and resiliency throughout the delivery of the project. Leveraging adaptability for enhanced outcomes. So you can envision outcomes rather than strictly adhering to predefined deliverables. This is again something which we talked about earlier, how you can shift the focus from rigid outputs to the desired outcomes. And this is going to allow teams to be more flexible in their approach. And this is also going to ensure that the final results align with evolving project goals. Adaptation may reveal alternative solutions that offer stronger results. This is again possible, right? If you are open to change, teams can discover new methods or technologies that provide better performance, and it is going to enhance the overall value of the project. Unexpected changes can present opportunities for innovation and competitive advantage. This happens all the time. In fact, if this is something that has happened to you on any of the projects, let me know in the comment below and describe what really happened, right? Something unexpected happened, an unexpected change happened, and it actually presented an opportunity for you as a project manager. So, whenever unforeseen events occur, a proactive and adaptable team can capitalize on these moments, and they can turn potential setbacks into chances or into opportunities to differentiate the project in the marketplace. Let me know in the comment if this is something that has ever happened to you. Building resiliency for continuous progress. Resiliency helps teams quickly recover from setbacks or failures, something that we have already talked about. It fosters a culture of continuous improvement and learning. And this is again something which we talked about in the previous slide about how resilient teams can view setbacks as opportunities for learning, opportunities for growth, and they can continuously refine their processes to better handle future challenges. Building resiliency keeps the focus on delivering value despite disruptions. If you maintain a strong and adaptable approach, even in the face of adversity, your team can ensure that the project continues to deliver the intended outcomes and sustain long term success. So that's all that we had in this video. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to understand the 11th principle of project management. If you like our work, consider contributing by heading over to pmclounge.com/contribute. The only call to action here would be subscribe to this channel. It helps us stay motivated and create more free content. Keep learning, check our other videos out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.